Hello, viewers. Welcome to another vlog on the consumer behavior. In this video, we are going to talk about the definition of consumer behavior and the various factors affecting the consumer behavior. So let's start off with understanding what is a consumer behavior. Consumer behavior refers to the study of human behavior in the consumer role, and its theoretical basis is primarily that of the behavioral sciences, that is, psychology, sociology, and anthropology. And this definition is given by Harold and Thomas Robertson. So let us understand consumer behavior in a lay language. So basically, we need to understand while designing a campaign for a consumer, that is how consumer thinks, feels, reason and select between different alternatives. How is consumer influenced by the environment? How consumer behave while shopping? How the consumer motivates and decision strategies differentiate between the product that differ in the level of interest and positioning. How can we develop an advertising campaign to motivate the consumer to buy the product and reach it more effectively? So let's have a look at the nature of the consumer behavior. So first and foremost is they are influenced by various factors. They undergo a constant change. It varies from consumer to consumer. It varies from region to region and country to country. It provides an information to the marketers, leads to the purchase decision, varies from product to product, improves the standard of living, and it also reflects the status of the consumer. Let's understand what are the major factors that affect the buying behavior of the consumer, right? So there are various factors such as cultural factors, which are also known as the anthropological factors, then the social factors, which is known as the sociology factors, personal factors, which is your personal choices, and then the psychological factors, right? So let's study these factors in detail. Let's start off with understanding the cultural factors first. The cultural factors can be further divided into culture, subculture, and a social class. Cultures are formed with some total of a knowledge, belief, customs, moral, art, and tradition that constitute the society and differs from society to society. For example, in India, white is a mourning dress, whereas it's a bridal dress in the other countries. That's a part of a culture. So the next category under the cultural factors is the subculture, which is the culture under the culture. A society is further divided into the subcultures in which people identify themselves. There may be people who follow the distinct customs, traditions, and behavior that are called the subcultural groups. These groups might share same value based on the common experiences or a similar lifestyle, and might be constituted by nationalities, religious groups, age groups, gender, etc. Right? And these subcultures are basically understood by the marketer or an advertisers to segment the market, so that when they are designing a campaign, right, they can segment the market on the basis of the subcultures. Right? For example, Sindhis might have different perceptions, beliefs, right, as compared to the Parsis, who have a different lifestyle and a culture. The third category is of a social class, right? Generally, the society is divided into a different social class, from lower class, middle class to upper middle class and an upper class. So people from different social groups tend to have different needs and desires and differ in their consumption patterns, right? Maybe for somebody, a Maruti car is a need, and maybe for an upper class, maybe any sedan car right? That swift desire is basically a need or a luxury item. So it differs as per to the social class. So the next category to be studied under the consumer behavior, the another factor is the social factors that affect a lot of the buying behavior of the consumer, right? Reference groups, right? We buy certain things by taking references from the people, those who matter to us, right? For example, in case I wanted to get a car, maybe I'll take references or opinions from somebody who has already purchased that car. Similarly, when I wanted to get my child admission into a certain school, maybe I'll ask about the teachers or principals, because their opinions would make me a difference. Next comes the family. Family is the first most the personal group that would help us in taking a decision, right? If we're buying any bigger item into the house, that could be a television or a refrigerator or a car, it is always the immediate family that would help us in taking a decision, right? The another social factor that affects a lot is basically the roles and the status that we stay in, right? People often get carried away while living in a society that is so brand and status conscious, right? We do a lot of things just to be a part of a peer group, right? We just wanted to be with the lookalike, or be with the the office goers, and we wanted to maintain the lifestyle, or maybe we wanted to maintain a lifestyle with our relatives in case we are going to attend a wedding, right? So that way they also make a lot of influence onto our buying behavior. Then comes the personal factors, right? So what are the personal factors that affect us buying is, first and foremost, is the age and the life cycle, right? For example, a teenager would have a different preference than a retired person, right? A female would have a different choice for purchasing things than the working woman. A household woman would having a different purchasing decisions, right? So that is about the age and the life cycle. And then comes the occupation, wherever we are working, right? Wherever an individual is designated to work, that nature of the work would influence our buying decisions, right? If we are working in an high-tech company, right, we'll be buying, and our mindset would be more towards the tech savvy things, and we'll be buying something which makes our life more easier, a bent of mind. Similarly, if we are towards the academic lifestyle, we are more towards purchasing the books that is going to support our knowledge, right? And then comes the economic situation, right? That makes a lot, because economic, or a money or an income is a major determinant while buying something, right? So you always tend to buy or spend money on certain thing which fits your budget, right? So next comes the personality and the self concept, right? Because personality is something, as an individual, I might like certain thing, right? My feelings towards certain thing, my behavioral patterns towards certain thing, my thinking. Maybe for somebody, looking simple is important than looking fashionable, right? Your choice of purchasing a cloth is much more simpler with subtle colors as compared to somebody who likes to be dressed as fashionista or something like that, right? So now let's talk about the psychological factors. Under psychological factors, we'll be talking about attitudes, learning, belief, and motivation. So attitudes are developed over a period of time and is inherited by learning from a socialization process. For example, a lot of people have a negative feeling towards the non-vegetarians or the non-believers of God. Next comes learning. Learning is something which an individual imbibes from the experience of using a product. For example, you might have used the products of Patanjali and you might not like, or you did not get the desired results that you wanted. So probably next time you would not purchase a Patanjali product, right? That is the source of your learning. Then comes beliefs. Beliefs are so strongly imbibed in an individual that it is not easy to change, right? Or melt them easily, right? And that needs a lot of conviction. For example, we as an Indians have a little tendency towards the white skin, right? And so the creams like Fair and Lovely came and the Kesar came so as to change the tone of the skin. But these things go, now the companies have started taking the stand onto even the dark skin, or be comfortable into your own skin color, right? Then comes the motivation. Motivation are basically a source of the external. Motivations are basically of two types, that is internal and external. And at times the consumer needs an external motivation sources like sales, discount, membership cards, coupons, so as to increase the sales and motivate the customer to buy the product. So I hope viewers you're liking the videos, right? And in case you have any doubt, do drop in your messages to kalia.gitanjali@gmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.